Now, the sad news that the film star Val Kilmer, who played Batman, and Jim Morrison, as well as starring in Top Gun, has died at the age of 65. His daughter told US media that he'd been suffering from pneumonia, and he died on Tuesday in Los Angeles.
Hollywood is a place of dreams, where ordinary people become legends, and legends often become myths. But behind the glamour and flashing lights are human stories filled with sacrifice, heartbreak, and resilience. Among the many stars who rose and fell, one name stands out: Val Kilmer, a Juilliard-trained actor with undeniable talent. He rose to international fame in the 1980s and 1990s. He became Batman, outshined rock legends, and gave us unforgettable characters like Doc Holliday. Yet his career was not without struggles, from personal challenges to professional controversies, and later, a life-threatening battle with cancer that nearly silenced him. This is a story of a man who lived many lives on-screen and fought for his own life off-screen. This is Val Kilmer's journey: stardom, struggles, and redemption. Early life. Val Edward Kilmer was born on December 31st, 1959, in Los Angeles, California, the heart of the film industry. His father was a real estate developer and his mother a homemaker. As a child, Kilmer was bright, creative, and sensitive, but his early years were marked by turbulence. His parents divorced when he was just 9 years old, an event that shook the young boy. Then, in his teenage years, tragedy struck again when his younger brother, Wesley, drowned in a tragic accident. Wesley had been a filmmaker at heart, and his death left Val with a deep sense of loss that would shape his art and emotional depth forever. Despite the hardships, Kilmer found solace in creativity. He excelled in school, showing not only intelligence but also a passion for performance. He developed an interest in acting that would soon dominate his future. At just 17 years old, Kilmer achieved something extraordinary. He became the youngest student ever admitted into Juilliard's drama division. Juilliard is one of the most prestigious performing arts schools in the world, and this milestone was proof of Kilmer's natural talent and determination. At Juilliard, Kilmer studied drama with intensity, immersing himself in Shakespeare, classical theater, and modern performance. He developed a reputation for being serious, focused, and sometimes difficult traits that would later follow him into his Hollywood career. But here, they were signs of his commitment to his craft. Breaking into Hollywood. After graduating from Juilliard, Kilmer began his career on stage, performing in Shakespeare productions and experimental theater. But soon, Hollywood came calling. His first major film role came in 1984 with the comedy Top Secret. Directed by Jim Abrahams and the Zucker brothers, the film showcased Kilmer's comedic timing and charm. He even performed his own singing in the movie, proving early on that he was a versatile talent. 2 years later, Kilmer's career skyrocketed when he played Tom Iceman Kazansky in Top Gun, 1986. The film was a massive box office success and became a cultural phenomenon. Kilmer's rivalry with Tom Cruise's Maverick gave audiences one of the most memorable duels in cinematic history. His calm, cool, and confident portrayal of Iceman made him an instant fan favorite. Practically overnight, Val Kilmer became one of Hollywood's hottest young stars. Rise to stardom. The late 1980s and early 1990s cemented Val Kilmer as one of the most versatile actors of his generation. He refused to be boxed into one type of role. In 1988, he starred in Willow, a fantasy adventure produced by George Lucas and directed by Ron Howard. Kilmer played Mad Mardigan, a charming but reluctant swordsman. The film became a cult favorite and showcased his ability to bring humor and humanity to a fantasy setting. Then, in 1991, Kilmer took on one of his most demanding roles as Jim Morrison in Oliver Stone's The Doors. Kilmer immersed himself so completely in the role that many who worked on the film said he essentially became Morrison. He learned all the band songs and performed them himself, convincing even Morrison's bandmates that he was channeling the rock legend. The performance earned critical praise and proved Kilmer was more than just a handsome face. He was an actor of tremendous depth. In 1993, Kilmer gave what many consider his greatest performance as Doc Holliday in Tombstone. With his southern drawl, razor-sharp wit, and underlying sense of tragedy, Kilmer turned Doc Holliday into one of the most memorable characters in Western film history. Lines like, I'm Your Huckleberry became legendary, and the performance remains a fan favorite to this day. In 1995, Kilmer reached the peak of his stardom. He starred in Batman Forever, stepping into the role of the Dark Knight. While the film received mixed reviews, Kilmer's portrayal added seriousness and gravitas to the character. That same year, he starred in Michael Mann's crime masterpiece Heat, alongside Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. Despite being up against two of cinema's greatest actors, Kilmer held his own, delivering a nuanced performance that cemented his place among Hollywood's elite. The 1990s also saw Kilmer in films like The Saint, 1997, The Ghost and the Darkness, 1996, and At First Sight, 1999. Each role showcased his ability to adapt, from action hero to romantic lead, from psychological drama to suspense, challenges and struggles. But success often comes at a price. Kilmer's reputation in Hollywood began to shift. Behind the camera, he was often described as difficult to work with. Directors and co-stars claimed he was demanding and perfectionist, sometimes clashing with filmmakers. While some admired his intensity, others saw his arrogance. Hollywood, an industry that thrives on cooperation, began to distance itself. On the personal side, Kilmer's marriage to actress Joanne Whalley ended in 1996. The couple, who had 2 children, Mercedes and Jack, divorced after nearly a decade together. The breakup added emotional strain during a period when his professional image was also under fire. By the 2000s, the blockbuster roles that once defined him became rarer. Kilmer continued working, appearing in films like Alexander, 2004, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, 2005, and Deja Vu, 2006. But the golden era of his stardom seemed to be fading. Then came the greatest challenge of all. In 2015, Kilmer was diagnosed with throat cancer. Treatment was grueling. Multiple surgeries and radiation therapy saved his life, but left him with severe side effects. A tracheotomy robbed him of his once powerful voice, making it difficult to speak. For an actor whose voice and presence had defined his career, it was a devastating blow. Many feared his acting days were over. Redemption and resilience. But Val Kilmer is not a man who gives up easily. Despite his illness, he remained resilient. He turned to painting and writing, using art as an outlet for creativity. His faith and his close bond with his children gave him strength. In 2021, the world finally got a glimpse of his private journey through the documentary Val, made using decades of personal home video footage that Kilmer had filmed throughout his career. The documentary revealed the highs and lows of his life. It showed audiences the funny, vulnerable, and deeply human side of a man often misunderstood by Hollywood. Critics and fans alike praised the film, calling it one of the most powerful celebrity documentaries ever made. Then in 2022 came his emotional return to the big screen in Top Gun: Maverick. Reprising his role as Iceman, Kilmer shared a poignant scene with Tom Cruise. Although his real-life voice was weak, technology helped him deliver lines. But the emotion in that moment was entirely real. For fans who had grown up with the original Top Gun, seeing Kilmer back as Iceman was unforgettable. The scene was widely regarded as one of the most moving parts of the film and a symbol of his unbreakable spirit. Legacy. Val Kilmer's legacy is not just defined by his roles, but by his resilience. His performances in The Doors, Tombstone, Heat, and Top Gun remain iconic. He gave us characters that were cool, complicated, and unforgettable. But beyond the films, Kilmer's life story has become an inspiration. He showed the world that greatness isn't measured by an absence of hardship, but by the ability to rise after falling. Despite losing his voice, he never lost his will to create, inspire, and connect with audiences. His journey from the heights of stardom, through the depths of illness, to his heartfelt return proves that legends are not made by success alone, but by courage, persistence, and humanity. Outro. And that was the story of Val Kilmer's journey. Stardom, struggles, and redemption. From his early days as a young dreamer in Los Angeles, to his rise as a Hollywood icon, through his battles with illness, and finally his emotional comeback. Val Kilmer's story is one of strength and inspiration.